Have you ever hated your own child? I never imagined I would say something like this, not even to myself, but yes, there was a moment, a raw, bitter moment where I looked at my child and felt something that felt horrifyingly close to hate. And before anyone passes judgment, let me tell you, no book, no parenting class, no well-meaning relative ever prepares you for the emotional storm that motherhood can become. I had dreamed of being a mother since I was little, the kind who bakes cookies and sings lullabies and always knows what to do. But reality hit me like a freight train the day my son was born. The delivery was traumatic. I lost too much blood. I tore in places I didn't know could tear. And when they placed him on my chest, I felt nothing. No magic, no movie scene tears, just numbness. I thought maybe it was the shock or the exhaustion, but that numbness followed me home and sat with me for weeks. He cried endlessly, those high-pitched, soul-piercing cries that made my head feel like it was cracking open. He had colic or reflux or both. I can't even remember anymore because all the diagnoses blurred into one sleepless, maddening blur. He'd cry from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. every night without fail. I tried every trick, every method, rocking until my arms went numb, singing until my throat burned, and nothing worked. I hadn't slept more than an hour straight in weeks. My husband, overwhelmed himself, had retreated. He'd quietly moved to the guest room, claiming he needed sleep for work. I didn't have that option. I was on call 24/7, tethered to this screaming, helpless baby who felt more like a stranger than my child. One night, it was around 3 a.m, I was standing in the nursery, rocking him as he screamed in my arms for the third hour straight. My eyes were bloodshot, my body was trembling from fatigue, and I suddenly whispered, "I hate you." The second the words came out, I gasped, like I'd heard someone else say them. My knees buckled and I sank to the floor, holding him as guilt and shame swallowed me whole. I didn't hate him, not truly, not his little face, not his existence. I hated the exhaustion. I hated that I no longer recognized the woman I'd become. I hated that I was failing and no one seemed to see me. Everyone asked how the baby was doing, no one ever asked about me. I felt invisible, like a broken machine built to feed, change, and console, with no time to grieve the life I had before. I hated the isolation, the relentless pressure to enjoy every moment, when all I wanted was to sleep or cry or both. The next morning, I packed him in the car and drove to my mother's house. I handed her the baby and broke down in her kitchen, sobbing and shaking and telling her what I had said. I thought she'd judge me or be horrified, but instead, she held me so tightly and whispered, "Honey, I felt the same way with you once." That was the first time I didn't feel alone. I started therapy soon after. I learned about postpartum depression, postpartum rage, and intrusive thoughts, things no one had ever told me were normal or even possible. I wasn't a monster, just a mother pushed to her absolute edge, who needed help and never asked for it. Slowly, so slowly it felt like watching ice melt, I began to connect with my son. The first time he smiled at me, something thawed inside. Then came the giggles, the first time he said "mama," the way he curled into me when he was sleepy. Every little milestone stitched me back together. Now he's 6 years old and the light of my life. He tells me I'm the best mom in the world, and sometimes I cry in the shower because he has no idea how close I came to breaking. I will always carry the memory of that night, not because I'm proud of it, but because it reminds me how far I've come. And I share this story not because I want sympathy, but because I know there are other mothers out there right now, sitting in a dark room with a screaming baby, thinking they're the only one. You're not. You're not broken. You're not evil. You're just tired. And it's okay to feel lost. What matters is that you find your way back, one tiny moment at a time.